Ustaz, please, my question is regarding sometimes some people, we do see some people gather together and reciting the Quran. And first of all, I want to know the permissibility regarding, I don't know, is it permissible for us to gather, share a copies of the Quran and everyone is reciting? And we finish, we make dua. Is it permissible? And if it is permissible,
Abdul Karim,
what
Abdul Karim,
no.
to be very specific,
Ustaz.
the version of your narrative, does everyone recite at the same time, or one is reciting at a time and the rest are listening to his recitation, and there is a sheikh who is listening to everyone and correcting and making remarks?
Actually, everyone is reciting. They make it in the form of dua. Everyone has a copy of the Quran, and everyone is just reciting.
طيب. Okay.
Afterwards, they will make dua.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. Yes. So I want to know whether it's permissible, and if it is permissible, what the right etiquettes regarding doing this recitation. That's my question, Ustaz.
Habibi, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The best gathering ever is a gathering in which the worshippers are reciting the word of Allah and learning the book of Allah, whereupon they will receive the following 4 privileges which cannot be attained otherwise. The Almighty Allah will send down upon them tranquility, and He will envelop them with His mercy. The angels will be surrounding them so long as they're sitting and learning the word of Allah. On earth they are talking about Allah, Allah will be talking about them, bragging about them and about their servitude in a gathering which is better than their gathering, the angels. The format which the Prophet ﷺ did and his companions did and they approved, when they sit in a halqa and there is a reciter who makes recitation and remarks, or one person is reciting at a time. So the sheikh of the halqa is correcting him and everyone else is listening. Listening secures you a similar word of the reciter. So everyone is benefiting. This is a scenario which is praiseworthy. Unfortunately, over time, people started coming up with some new techniques, such as when somebody dies, whenever we have a commemoration, grand opening, so we get 30 people, they sit and everyone recites one para, and we call this khatma. You recite from Al-Baqarah to the second para, and you recite from the second to the third, and so on. By no means this is called khatma. A khatmul Quran is one individual reciting the Quran from cover to cover, from Al-Fatiha to An-Nas, or listening to the Quran, or reciting some and listening to some from Al-Fatiha to An-Nas, in that order. But if we sit for half hour or for 1 hour, I recite 1 or 2 paras and you recite different 2 paras, and then when we finish, everyone finishes their own, we say, we made Khatmul Quran. You didn't make Khatmul Quran. I recited 2 paras and that's it. You recited 1 para and that's it. As far as making dua after every good deed, it's permissible. You raise your hand and you make dua. Dua upon Khatmul Quran is also permissible. And Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, every time he will finish the Quran on his own, he will invite his family members, gather them, and he will supplicate and they say, Ameen. So now our difference is only concerning what they perceive it as Khatmul Quran. MashaAllah, since Ramadan is over, now it is 23 days or 24 days, right? Actually it's more, 26 days. So here is a question. How many para of the Quran did you read? What you read on your own, or hear, listen to on your own, or alternate between reading and listening is what counts as this is my reading. If we live in a building and everyone have their own recitation, that's everyone have their own word. We don't get rewarded for it collectively. This is your own recitation, this is my own recitation. So even if we say between Asr and Maghrib in the masjid, let's sit, this is the time of answering the dua, and everyone will recite on their own without being committed to recite a particular segment so that we make a khatma. This is permissible. The problem is when we assume now we've made Khatm al-Quran. How did you do Khatm al-Quran? I only recited one para. I didn't even listen to the remaining 27 part of the Quran. Is this a Khatma? No, that is not a Khatma. Shukran. Barakallahu fikum.